Rob, I thought it was gonna be a short, easy day today. Oh my God.
Well, something went wrong between the ignition switch and the starter. So, all of you out there who grew up poor, you know what I'm about to do.
How many miles, Rob?
10 nautical miles. It's a short one.
What's our wind
No, breezy. Not really.
motor? It's been a good stay here at Fort Myers Beach. Ready to leave. Okay, we got the windlass on. We have instrument, radar, autopilot, VHF.
Yeah, and that's why it says auto. We have our navigation route set in the phone and on the plotter. Maria is up front taking off the mooring lines. She's going to take the left line off first because we should be drifting to the left and we don't want to drift over the ball. So we'll take that left one off first and then she'll take the right one off. Then we'll be on our way. Man, check this dude out. Rooster tail.
We're headed to St. James City, waiting for boat traffic. We're moving a little bit slow. Going under that bridge, Matanzas Bridge. Daisy's ready to go. We are unhooked from Ball 44, Fort Myers Beach, out. Okay, Cap.
Maybe. We're moving pretty slow. I don't know if the prop might be completely fouled with growth.
Oh no, hope not.
There's a lot of growth coming up.
We were there almost 2 months. Oh my goodness.
Hopefully that's coming off the prop.
Looks so deceiving. If you want to beat the traffic on San Carlos Bridge, you just take your boat.
Yeah. Well, we got a little bit more speed now, finally. Now that we're turning away from the current, we're cutting this short too. Notice the channel marker is right there. According to the charts, we can cut through here. It says it's 11 feet. Today we're headed to St. James City, which is only about 10 nautical miles from Fort Myers Beach mooring field. Let me see where I'm going here. We've been there about 6 weeks, and it was great. We were headed to the Keys, and we ended up at Fort Myers Beach and just stayed there. So now we're heading back to get the boat put away. It'll take us a couple days to get back. We could do it one day, but we're going to do it in 2.5 days, just to kind of stretch out the boating season, and then go and put the boat away and get the bottom clean. This thing must be really dirty, sitting there 6 weeks. But anyway, we'll see you in the Charlotte Harbor here. Well, this is interesting. I turn this, that comes on, the alarm will come on in a second, it's got a delay to it. I push the button, and now it doesn't start. But I tested all the voltages, battery's good, starter we got 12 volts to the, over 12 volts to the ignition switch, 12 volts to the start button, we have 12 volts at the starter, but for some reason, when you push the button, it doesn't engage. So somewhere between this button and the starter, there's a disconnect. But I was able to start it with the screwdriver by jumping the starter. Remember the old days when your car wouldn't start? You could go underneath and, you know, the S terminal to the positive block, and it cranked up. And that's what I did, and so I can start it. So we only got about 2 more days on this trip, and so that's how I'll be starting the boat for 2 days. That's pretty dirty too.
Don't troubleshoot something else.
This thing's called, but it was off. So even if it's not the problem, I'm sure it was supposed to be connected. I don't know what that is. That thing right there. Look. I have no idea what that is. So we are at Pine Island again, the south side of Pine Island. I was having trouble with the snubber, so I told Maria to turn off the engine, and then when we turn it back on, it wouldn't start. I mean, it's just coincidence that whatever it is went bad. I don't know, but we'll see.
Good morning from Pine Island. It is, what time is it, Maria? 7? Probably 7 in the morning. Sun's coming up. Check out the sunrise.
Rob, I thought it was gonna be a short, easy day today. Oh my God.
Well, something went wrong between the ignition switch and the starter. So, all of you out there who grew up poor, you know what I'm about to do.
Gosh. Hot wire.
Ignition's on.
Stolen cars before.
Come around here.
Oh God.
Get that flashlight. All right, so I'm going to touch here to here.
Do I have to go press the start button?
Nope.
I don't even have to do that. Oh my God, that was scary. She's alive! All right, we did the hillbilly startup and we're heading out. There were dolphins up ahead.
They're gonna be on this side, bro.
Gonna go check on the dolphins.
I did not hit that. Let's leave a number before I got it.
Pretty nice night.
Yeah, it got a little windy, but it wasn't too bad. It got real windy about 5 o'clock, so we're headed to Pelican Bay, which is less than 3 hours, maybe. Let me see, actually, right about 3 hours to get there. We were thinking about going all the way, but you go all the way, then it's just one less day of being on the boat. So I'm gonna do one more night at anchor, and then head to the dock to get it put away for the hurricane season.
Daisy wants to say good morning. She got up this morning, went out, had breakfast, got a teeth brush.
Hi, dog.
She's ready to go. What's our ETA, Cap?
About 12:30,
What time is it now?
10:50.
All right. Looks like it's coming in hot. Hopefully it gives us a very slow pass. Very nice. We made it to started. And Rob's down below getting ready to do an oil change.
Last season when I did the oil change, I didn't have a filter, so I just replaced the oil only. So this oil doesn't have it's got like 15 hours on it, but I'm changing it anyway because I have to change the filter now that I have the filter. Well, at least I hope the filter fits. So we're using this setup here. You basically just stick it down the tube, dipstick tube, and you pump it up and it builds up pressure and it just sucks it out. You got to do it when the engine's warm. If you don't, it's going to just take all day. It still takes a long time. Even I mean, it's only taken out about a quart so far. There's got to be. I want an electric one. Electric one would work a lot better. But there you can see, I mark my filters when I do the oil change, and there I did 1315 oil only. I do the same thing for the fuel filter. I mark down the hours. That way I know, even if it's in the logbook, you don't have to go chase the logbook down. So all I'm going to do is just replace the oil filter and the oil and call it a day, because the fuel filter is relatively new. The antifreeze, I don't know if I really need to do that right now. I'll have to check. I might replace the antifreeze before we head back out, but we'll see. But we're in Anchorage. We just got here, and I wanted to do it while the engine was hot. I got the pump, the funnel, the filter, oil, gloves. What I do is I put the trash bag, or this zip tie bag or Ziploc bag, over the filter and take the filter out so all the oil drips into this thing instead of into the bilge. All right, you can hear it trying to suck out the last bit of oil. Supposedly it has 5.3 quarts in it. I don't know how much was in the filter. Probably half a quart maybe. And it's showing that there's only 4.5 there. So I don't know. I don't think I can get it all out. Oil change is done. No problems at all. Actually, that's the first time I've ever done it when the engine is really hot. And it did work a lot better. It took me about 45 minutes to get the whole thing done, including putting oil and everything back in. So good to go. So we got a little crab pot there. It was right next to the boat. And I know they're probably going to be mad, but I moved it about 20 feet. So, but if it would have got caught in my prop or underneath my boat, I would have had to cut it off. So I'm sure they're glad about that. It's about 15 feet here. I put out, I don't know, 120 feet of chain with the snubber. So hopefully that's sufficient. It's not quite 7 to 1 with tide, but somewhere between 5 and 7 to 1 should be good, because we're not expecting any high winds. Surprisingly, you don't get a whole lot of wake here. By the time it gets over here, it's the wake is dissipated. And Maria is looking for something to make for lunch or dinner. Oh, Korean barbecue. But so eat on the boat, save money for boat maintenance. Well, now we're just sitting here on anchor, and it's our last night at anchor. It's kind of sad. We'll be heading to a place called Safe Cove in Charlotte Harbor, here in Southwest Florida. We'll be doing some work to the boat and putting the boat up on the hard for hurricane season. A little bit early, but we got some obligations that we have to do in another part of the country, going to a wedding. And we'll probably just spend some time up north where it's not so hot. Daisy can't decide if she likes it out here or if she wants to go back to land and be a landlubber. So tomorrow's trip is it's about 5.5 hours. It's not very far. It's just our boat, for some reason, I think it's dirty bottom, but we're slow right now. But the currents in here aren't that strong. But we're gonna go 5.5 hours to Safe Cove, and about 4 hours to the lock. We have to go through a lock, and then an hour to hour and a half to the dock. And that's it. Daisy is one of those dogs that is kind of hard to teach how to go on a mat. We have a mat down below for her, and she went on it a couple of times. She always misses though. She pees about halfway on the mat and halfway on the floor. So Maria got these things on Amazon. Check these out. These little cute diapers. And we just put those on her. That way if she actually has an accident, then it's not a big deal. We are getting in the dinghy to take Daisy to shore for the last time on this trip. This is our last dinghy ride. And here comes some waves right on cue when you're trying to get in or out of the dinghy. That's when the power boats like to go by and make big waves. We're gonna head right over there to that sandy patch. This water going in here is very shallow. We almost hit bottom. Yesterday we did hit bottom going up that way. But now it looks like it's getting a little deeper. So we'll take this thing on up to shore. Just saw this egg on the beach here. We don't know what kind of egg that is. There's a hole right behind it there. So Maria thinks it's a snake egg. I don't think so.
Well, got Daisy back from shore. Going to go to a sailing club, heading south. I guess there are 25 boats in this flotilla. We counted 10 so far. Okay, what's our sequence for starting up the boat today?
I had you turn on the ignition once I'm ready.
Okay.
And then I'll hit the screwdriver.
All right, make sure you wear your gloves and ground yourself.
On the ignition.
Okay, here's our start sequence. Ignition on. And he's gonna arc it down there. There we go. That's how we start up the boat. Still alive, Rob?
Started.
Okay. Now we're gonna bring up the anchor.
Well, we had some kind of a power surge and we lost our depth, our speed, and our autopilot. Luckily, we still have our GPS and power to my navionics. So, man, I guess it's a good time. I guess that's God telling us it's a good time to quit for the season.
Rob, is it hard to drive without depth?
No, not here. It's like 20 feet deep. It's hard to drive without autopilot in the middle of nowhere. It's my new autopilot. I just got done putting lines on the boat, did some work inside the boat, and I'm steering with my feet because the autopilot is malfunctioning. Well, it's not really malfunctioning. The power is completely out to everything on the instrument panel, except for the VHF and the GPS, thank goodness. So, all right, we'll see you at the lock. We're coming into the lock system here, but there's two boats coming out, and this water's really shallow. If you make a mistake in here, you're on the bottom. So, kind of nerve-wracking, but Maria's up there to catch the rope on the bow, and I'll be back here catching on the stern. And I don't know, we'll see how this goes. It's been a couple of months since we went through here. It's fairly easy. We always get nervous though, anytime you're docking or locking. close so much to the side. Then we're gonna hit. Tell me when I'm getting close up to the front. Should be good right there. All right, we made it through the lock, and no problem at all. We just got in there and grabbed the ropes, and there's a little bit of pressure. You know, it's kind of hard to hang on to. Big boat when the water starts moving, but here we are. Looks like we're on the Erie Canal again. And I recorded my path on Aquamaps last time through, so I just have to follow my own old path, and that way I won't run aground since I don't have a depth finder today. There's a boat behind us. He's probably wanting to pass, but he's going to wait until we get up here to, there's an open area where he can pass when we get around this corner. Daisy, you ready to go home? Huh? You want to go home? So they want to do the haul out today. So we weren't ready, but we hustled up and we got ready. I took the dinghy off of the boat because it's easier to back into, because you have to back into the sling because of the forestay. So I took the dinghy off and I reinstalled the rub rail where we did the repairs, because we had a big old gap right here and I don't want that gap. So I got a way to like seal that up, and in the front here in that gap I have a little plastic cover or a stainless steel cover that I'm going to get and put over top of that. So that'll be the joint for that. But we are ready to pull out. Then comes a little break. Well, you know, we'll come back and clean the boat up before we leave. When we come back, we got a lot of work to do. So not as much as last summer though, I hope. But we got some repairs this year, you know, electrical stuff. But it doesn't seem like anything major, but you know how that goes on a boat. Well, there's Hana ready for the summer hurricane season. All right, that ends season 2024, going into 2025. Some of you noticed a huge gap between the last two uploads, and hopefully that's the last time we do that. We had numerous issues, which we can go into later on another video. But the good news with that is the next season will just start immediately with no break in between. So be expecting a new video within the next couple of weeks about what we're doing in 2025. Until then,
We'll see you next time.